Hello again. Now, this is again a martial arts video. After having done 3 science videos and a special friend's request, I feel compelled to also do something for my martial arts subscribers and friends. So, when I reviewed my martial arts talks, I found out that I named 6 points of the strategic assault to civil self-defense, and I actually didn't cover them all. I did cover the necessity for planning, which basically means select an art that is fun to practice, that is moderately practical for self-defense, and that you can imagine to practice long time. I gave the advice to hire a lawyer and get really well acquainted and solid advice on the legislation of self-defense in your country, and to also get that lawyer's number in your mobile phone and get on the customer list of that lawyer. That way, when you say, I want to talk to my lawyer, you actually have a lawyer whose customer you already are. In many countries, this somehow acts in your favor. And also, you should read maps and know your way around. Please look it up in the videos. So this applies for the actual planning phase. Then I said there is the actual training phase, where you have the usual physical conditioning for strength, for stamina, and for mobility. And while you do not need to win a strongman contest, overall strength and core strength training and conditioning benefits your general health and certainly any kind of martial arts, even the soft arts like Tai Chi or anything. Certainly stamina helps, and also suppleness. You don't need to win the next Rubberman contest, but a certain amount of stamina, of suppleness and mobility is always a good thing to have. Then, of course, you need to train specific combat attributes, your techniques, your applications and stuff. Then, you need to have scenarios. Means, what if I'm attacked in a situation like this? You should train in other places, like your dojo or your training hall, or you should have some furniture around, because chances are you are not attacked in your dojo. You may be attacked on a stairwell, so all your footwork goes down the gutter if you have never trained and extensively trained on a stairwell. Imagine you do Wing Chun steps, very good, on the street or on a flat floor, but you have to adjust and to retrain them if you want to train them on stairs, or if you happen to be attacked in the fields, uneven grounds and stuff. So you have to practice in different places. You have to practice when there is furniture standing around. If you're attacked in a bar, it is crowded. So all that kind of stuff has to be practiced. That applies for the actual training. We will go into this in great detail, and I'm actually looking forward to, after this video, presenting some physical action, because as you may have noticed, I like to give some chit-chat, but actually I prefer showing some action. But without a good solid framework and mind frame, the action in the end may not apply for much. The next phase, then we have covered planning, training and preparation, and then now we have before the fight breaks out. That is basically your general awareness of what is going on around you. That should tell you whether or not you are in a dangerous place. Partly we have a rollover from the preparation phase when you read the maps and the crime reports in the newspapers and stuff. Generally anything that raises your awareness. You notice I'm going rather quick to this because I want to close in on a specific subject that comes last. Before the fight, now that is during the fight, you hopefully win that fight. That depends on your training and stuff. Then there is shortly after the fight. I have discussed that at length. If you are alone and unhurt, run, because that is the viable thing to do, because getting away unharmed and surviving the thing, that is victory in the streets. And relatively unharmed means without severe or lasting injury. Bruises or abrasions and stuff are not nice, but you can live with that. And then there is long after the attack, and this is the main subject of this video. Long after the attack may have two main focus points. One is a legal focus point and the other is a psychological focus point. The legal focus point should be covered by your lawyer. The psychological focus point is called post-traumatic stress syndrome. Even hard-headed warriors and even men who are very muy macho suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. Seasoned veterans in the police service who have seen much action and much combat suddenly may have or may experience symptoms of post-traumatic stress syndrome. So it is not a sign of being a sissy or a coward or in any way unmanly or unwarrior-like. Post-traumatic stress syndrome is something that is going to happen, and it is more likely that it is happening to you if you are a normal civilian person, because, like I said in the other video, unless you live in a war zone, you will probably not have very many occasions where you will have to use your martial arts for real, as in real self-defense. So you are not used to that stuff. So if you suddenly experience violence, every experience that psychologists have made, that policemen have made, that soldiers have made, and that actually many warrior cultures of the past have made, is that you will experience post-traumatic stress syndrome. There are two ways to deal with post-traumatic stress syndrome. The one is the after-the-fact dealing with it. There are basically two ways to do that. Either you try to bear it like a man and suffer and sooner or later take alcohol or some kind of drugs, or you go for psychotherapeutic help. I certainly don't recommend alcohol or drugs, and if nothing else is available, psychotherapy might help. I know it feels awkward and stuff, but it is better than trying to put up with it alone. All experience from the Vietnam War on, and if you count in records, earlier records from the First World War, from the American Civil War, all records show that the strongest man can and will suffer from this. So nobody is macho enough to not suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. So if you have experienced extreme sudden violence, psychotherapy is the thing to do if you have not prepared for such an event beforehand. And now we are closing in on the subject, meditation. Any warrior culture has advised and practiced and cultivated some form of, let us say, spiritual practice, be that meditation, prayer, whatever. Meditation is something that you practice for a long time, like standing meditation. In fact, or like pole standing practice, Zhang Zhang. And in fact, there are many parallels between meditation and pole standing practice. You might say, for martial arts purposes, meditation is for the mind what pole standing practice is for the body. I'm closing in on 8 minutes. I will continue this in the next video. Until then, stay safe, practice hard, be blessed. Hopefully we see each other soon.